Kaido, the world's strongest creature, the ruler of Wano, and one of the most hyped villains in One Piece. But despite his overwhelming power, something about Kaido feels off. Unlike villains like Doflamingo or Blackbeard, Kaido's presence doesn't hit the same way. Why? Well, today, we're breaking down why Kaido wasn't a good villain. First problem is his design. Characters like Lucci, Doflamingo, and Crocodile have visually distinctive designs that immediately stand out. Lucci's sleek, martial arts-inspired attire, Doflamingo's flamboyant and colorful look with his string-themed powers, and Crocodile's desert-themed, intimidating attire all contribute to memorable visual identities. In contrast, Kaido's design is more simple. He just looks like a brute. He lacks the intricate details that make other characters' designs feel unique and carefully thought out. The problem with his character. Great villains in One Piece have one thing in common: a strong, well-developed motivation. Doflamingo wanted to rule Dressrosa to prove his superiority. Crocodile wanted to take over Alabasta and obtain Pluton. Blackbeard is playing a long game to reshape the world. But Kaido? His goal is to start a war and die? Kaido's obsession with death could have been interesting, but it never feels fully developed. Why does he want to die so badly? His backstory gives us some hints. He was betrayed by his country, used as a weapon, and saw the cruelty of the world. But instead of making him complex, it just makes him feel hollow. Unlike villains who have personal stakes in their actions, Kaido feels like he's just there. His whole philosophy is might makes right, but it never evolves beyond that. There's no emotional depth to his actions, no real moment that makes us sympathize with him. He could have been so much more, but instead he's just a brute who drinks and destroys things because that's what he does. Another issue is if Kaido was interested in fighting strong opponents, then why not fight Shanks or a healthier Whitebeard years earlier? It feels like Kaido just sat in Wano for 20 years drinking. One of the biggest issues with Kaido is his crew, the Beast Pirates. In most One Piece arcs, the villain's crew plays a key role in shaping the conflict. The Baroque Works agents felt like dangerous assassins. The Big Mom Pirates were a dysfunctional yet terrifying family. The Beast Pirates? They're just strong because Kaido made them strong. Kaido's army isn't built on loyalty or ideology. It's built on fear and brute strength. He forces people to join him, and those who resist either die or become his mindless soldiers. This makes his crew feel uninteresting. There's no emotional connection between them. Even his right-hand men, the Calamities, barely have any depth beyond strong guys who follow Kaido. King, for example, had a chance to be a meaningful character. He was rescued by Kaido, stood by him for years, and was possibly one of his most loyal subordinates. But instead of exploring that dynamic, it's just brushed over in a flashback. Compare that to Katakuri's relationship with Big Mom, and you'll see the difference immediately. And when the war actually happens, the Beast Pirates are completely underwhelming. They fall one by one without making a lasting impact. A villain's crew should make their boss feel more threatening, but instead, they just make Kaido's empire feel weak. The Beast Pirates' defeat is shocking, because Kaido's crew consisted of 20,000 members, while Whitebeard had only 1,600 men. But the Whitebeard pirates felt far more threatening in spite of the huge difference in numbers. Another issue with Kaido as a villain is his relationship with Orochi. What made Crocodile or Doflamingo's defeat satisfying? Crocodile caused the deaths of several citizens in Alabasta, and started a civil war that led to many casualties. Doflamingo committed several atrocities, some of which include running a human auction house and forcing King Riku to kill his citizens. Seeing these two characters lose was satisfying because of the things they had done. Wano was under Kaido's rule, but for most of the arc, Orochi is the face of oppression. He's the one directly making life miserable for the people. He's the one executing innocent civilians. He's the one who ruled Wano with an iron fist. Meanwhile, Kaido is just sitting in Onigashima, drinking and waiting for a fight. The feelings of disgust that we have for Orochi is actually what we should feel towards Kaido, in order for his defeat to feel satisfying. And when Kaido finally takes full control, he just kills Orochi and moves on. Orochi's entire presence made Kaido feel like he was in the background of his own story. By the time Kaido finally asserted himself as Wano's real threat, the arc was already reaching its climax. For all of Kaido's buildup, his defeat didn't feel as satisfying as it should have. He fought Luffy multiple times, and while their final battle was visually stunning, it lacked emotional weight. Unlike other villains who were outsmarted, overthrown, or had a deep, meaningful downfall, Kaido was just punched into the ground. Kaido could have been one of One Piece's greatest villains, but he lacked the depth, the connections, and the impact of the best antagonists in the series. His crew was forgettable, his presence was overshadowed by Orochi, and his story lacked the emotional weight needed to make his downfall meaningful. At the end of the day, Kaido wasn't a bad character. He just wasn't a great villain. But what do you think? Did Kaido live up to the hype, or was he wasted potential? Let me know in the comments below.